Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Dig Daniel here today, and today I want to talk about the reason why most traders fail, and this would be a personal conversation based on my personal experience as a trader, and especially one that it took me a long time for me to be consistently profitable. And I just want to share some of the things that I believe kept me from being profitable for a long period of time. And I also do believe that these things would also help you. By sharing them, I believe you can gain some sort of wisdom in how to avoid them and probably know what to do better when you're trading, or how to take your trading to the next level. So the first reason why most traders are not profitable is lack of adequate market research. Now, let me paint a scenario for you, and I want to believe a lot of you guys can relate to this state of mind, right? You heard about trading, and you probably heard this from a fellow retail trader, a lifestyle trader on the internet. You're excited, you can't wait, to start trading. You just hop into learning the system, learning the basics about trading, what is Forex, what the lot size, the risk management and whatnot, and you just dive into trading. And this is literally your everyday typical trader. Now, the problem with this is a lot of us don't understand that the trading industry is like every other industry you're likely going to find. You need to realize this, that the first thing you do when you're starting a new business is to first of all conduct what we call a market visibility study. The reason why you do this is because you want to familiarize yourself with the industry you're coming into, and you want to know what really works and what doesn't work. When you're doing a market research, say you want to start a restaurant business or you want to go into the fashion industry, the first thing you want to do is to identify the market leaders. Now, this is very important. You want to know who the market leaders are, and when you do this, your aim is to spot their weakness, their strengths, and their threats, whatever, the SWOT analysis. The key focus is to understand how these guys are able to scale growth from being from ground zero to 100. So you want to study their success stories, how they function, so you can maybe even draw inspiration from these guys. Second thing is you want to know the things they failed at. You want to focus on understanding the things that work and the things that don't work. Every industry you find have a way of functioning. There are certain beliefs that are common amongst the masses or the people in that industry. A lot of traders actually would just come into the trading industry, you're excited, you maybe even know the market leaders, they call them the institutions, but you don't spend enough time into studying these guys, understanding their average risk to reward annually, monthly, quarterly. How do these guys function? This is the major reason why I wasn't profitable for a long period of time, because just like every retail trader, I was focused on trying to take $100 trading account to over $1,000 to over $2,000. Now, I'm not telling you that this is not possible. What I'm trying to say is, when you understand the industry, how the market leaders function, you would come to realize that the market leaders who control this market don't even stress to make 1,000% returns on a single month. Go check out the numbers. Most of these companies, they post their annual numbers on the internet, so you can really do the research and get these things for yourself. I've seen companies that make around 40% increase annually, and it just comes to question the whole retail trading perspective. You as a retail trader, you're trying to take $100 to $1,000. That is over, I think, over 100%, or even that is over 1,000% increase on your trading account, if I'm not mistaken. Market leaders, on the other hand, when they have X amount of money, their aim is to make around 5 to 10% monthly. So you see, it takes away the pressure and the stress of wanting to be right. The problem why most traders fail is the unnecessary pressure they mount on themselves based on the account size they are trading. For you, 5% monthly is something you can't survive on, and I can't even blame you, because just like you, I was in this phase. Imagine making 5% on $100 trading account. It doesn't make sense. 10% on $100 is $10, and you can't survive on $10 on a daily basis, not to make mention a monthly basis. In this industry, 5% is enough. 10% is enough on a monthly basis. If it's not enough for you, the problem is not the strategy you're trading. And this is why I tell a lot of traders, more often your problem isn't a lack of mentorship or not having a profitable system. If you come to check a lot of things and relate with a lot of traders on ground zero conversation, you would realize that most traders have profitable systems. The problem here is the account size you're trading with, and it's not making you appreciate your system. To make you force a lot of things that would eventually lead you into depression, and it's something that you must stop if you're ever going to be a profitable trader. The second reason why most traders fail is not having a specific trading system. The first thing you need to do is to conduct a market visibility study, because you're a business person, you're starting a business, you're coming into a new industry. Identify what is working in this industry. Next thing you do when you've done your visibility study is to have a product. This is very important. Have a product. Your strategy is your product, because we call this a market for a reason. A lot of things are being sold at the same time. When you step into a grocery store, you don't walk into the store and say you want to buy something. Sales rep would ask you, what are you here to buy? That is the question that a lot of traders haven't come to specifically answer for themselves. Think of the market as walking into the grocery store. The question is, what are you coming to buy? That is very important. When you walk into the store, you can't buy everything. And this is why I tell you it's called a market for a reason. There are a lot of systems that are being traded. There are a lot of things that are happening at the same time. But you as a trader must come in with a purpose. Remember, there's a popular quote that where purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. So when you're coming into this market, it's important you have a product you're coming to buy. What is the system? What is the model you're looking out for when you open your chart? This is the reason why specificity is very important, right? Because if you don't know what you're coming to trade, you're likely going to open trades randomly. This is where the whole issues or the conversations of the FOMO, the lack of confidence, because you don't even know what you're coming to buy. You don't have a pre-list before walking into the store. But if you have a list, if you have a checklist before walking into that store, there's a higher tendency that as you walk into that store, at this point, you know you're here to buy an iPhone. If they don't have an iPhone, you walk to the next store or you come back the next day. You see, most traders don't have this mentality. You don't understand that you need to have a product, have something you're coming to look out for when you're stepping into the market every single time. I don't know if this makes sense. So when you've done your market visibility, have a product, test your product, know the product you're coming in to buy. And when the market don't have it for the day, come back the next day. The third and the final reason why most traders fail is rushing the process. The market will be here tomorrow, the next year, the next 10 years, and the next 50 years if everything, if we don't go into a massive crash, the market will always be here. I know a lot of people will tell you this, that time waits for no one. But get this, time is your biggest weapon. You have time. Don't rush the process. When you see other traders that are, taking $100 to $1 million, someone just bought a prop account and they were able to pass their prop account in like 24 hours. And you, on the other hand, seeing this result, rather than be inspired, you're letting this result affect state of mind. You're letting this result affect the way you trade. The one reason why I wasn't profitable was the fact that I was rushing the process. And this is something that a lot of you guys can relate to. You're rushing and you're speeding a lot of process that is mounting so much pressure on you. And that is the reason why you're depressed. You don't have to pass your prop account in a single week. You don't have to even pass your prop account in a single month. Give yourself grace. This is the biggest advice I ever received as a trader, and it just made me take a pause and had to relax for a bit. You need to give yourself grace. You don't have to grow that account in a single day. You don't have to understand everything in a single time. You don't have to risk too much for you to get there. Speed doesn't equal productivity. The fact that you're rushing the process doesn't mean you would have effective results. Oftentimes, slow and steady gets the job done. So I really hope this process would resonate with you. These are the things that kept me from being profitable, and I believe it's one of the major reasons why most traders are not profitable, why most traders will keep failing. One, you don't understand the industry, you don't know how the industry functions. Two, you don't even have a product you are here to trade. You don't know what you're looking for. You're just jumping into the market because someone says you should do this. You don't even have confidence in that thing you're trading. And the third thing, which is something that you always need to keep in mind, is never rush the process. So thank you, and I really hope this video would help you probably gain some sort of clarity in what you're doing wrong and what you could do better moving forward. My name is Dick Daniel, and I just want to make sense and put out content that would help you grow as a trader. So please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye for now.